Welcome, listeners, to the inaugural episode of Wench of the Week, the only space on the internet where aesthetic is cursed, but the credentials are clinical. I'm your host, Xochitl, the Putrid Wench, and today we are broadcasting live from the inner sanctum of the Dark Castle. Today we're bridging the gap between goth subculture and the Ivory Tower. Let's welcome Master of the Minds, Wyatt.
Thank you for having me.
Give us a little bit of background for yourself. How old are you? How long have you been in school?
I am 31, less than 2 months. Right now, I'm working on my master's. As you mentioned, I'm currently in my second year. Should be done about 2028, but I'm on the 3-year track. And then I got my bachelor's in September 2024, and then pretty much started grad school. Yeah, just been doing that since. Haven't really taken much of a break.
I know you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, it's been wild, like juggling working full-time and doing grad school full-time. Right now I'm not working, just doing practicum and my studies, but still a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to be a tough cookie to do all that. Make your balancing act.
It's not for the faint of heart.
We are absolutely not for the faint of heart either, are we? We are definitely not the kind of people that you would expect to see in a professional setting. You wouldn't expect to see us with the
hashtag chatted therapist.
Oh, yes, there we go. Hashtag corporate goth. Okay. With that in mind, how do you navigate professional spaces, just being who you are with the aesthetic that you have and the subcultures that you enjoy?
That's an awesome question. So for me, like, I'm always been pretty rough around the edges, always had the darker clothing. I think pretty intimidating to people. At least I've been told that. Some people think I'm very approachable. Some people think I look mean because I have always had a darker aesthetic. I mean, I'm tatted everywhere, even on my throat.
Oh my god.
So luckily, my supervisors had no issue with it. I think too, actually, because I feel like a lot of high school students, especially our queer identifying ones, LGBT, a lot of them are already kind of into body modifications like piercings. I mean, of course, mostly underage, so don't really have a lot of tatted students. But
I would hope not.
I'd hope not. But I'll look into that. But fortunately, I'm since I don't have anything offensive or anything obscene.
Yeah. So I know that you mentioned that the students, they're probably a little more comfortable with you then, as opposed to some of the other counselors. Is that something that you've noticed in your time at the school?
It is something I have noticed. I have some students be like, I really like your tattoo, or like even like my hairstyle. Right now, I mean, sides are a little bit longer, but I do get compliments there.
Oh yeah, I've seen all the phases.
You've seen the phases. I want to go with a more shaggy look eventually, but exactly, it's got it. One of my clients actually says, she's like, you know what I appreciate about you is you come off as just like yourself. She's like, and she was seeing another therapist, and she asked for me, and my colleague gave me her blessing. It was cool because she's like, like, I like how you're just like yourself when you're here. And for me, it's like, I want my students to feel comfortable. Like, this is the wellness center is their space, and of course, I mean, I'm professional as far as like boundaries and limits, of course. But I just show up as myself, and because the client was like, like, my therapist is great, but sometimes it feels a little too professional, a little too rigid. So I do think like my aesthetic kind of does maybe a little bit more approachable in that way, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I would say especially because your clients are high school students. It's very funny how we probably got teased in high school for being like this because we've been like this for our whole lives. And then as adults, you also get teased from the adults, but then it's very interesting where now younger people see us in professional positions and they like it and they want to interact with us. So the impact that you're having is great. But with that, I kind of wanted to pivot and talk about your interest in witchcraft and tarot and such of the like.
Speak my language.
So people might see these things as opposites, like very spiritually grounded, like, oh man, like mystic, I'm so mystical with the witchcraft. But then you're going for like the clinical study side of it where you're going to school. Have you found any ways to like marry your two techniques, or how do you find that your lifestyles interplay with each other?
Therapists aren't necessarily supposed to impose their beliefs on clients, but if a client is curious and depending on the report, then sure, we might talk about certain things. One of my colleagues is also very metaphysical and very spiritual. Like her and I have talked about tarot, burning sage, and things like that. I'm definitely, I think, a little bit more on the witchier path, like as far as being a pagan and believing in certain deities, where she's more agnostic, if that makes sense. Where for me, I do have like different deities I incorporate in my ritual. That's not really something I share with students or share really at my school.
Sure. Well, I would
just-
assume because it's more like your religion. So it's like
Exactly.
the same as you wouldn't expect a school counselor to go around saying like, oh, you should go to church or you should come to the temple with me. You wouldn't expect Wyatt to be like, hey, you should do some witchcraft with me. It's not
Exactly. You're like, here,
that.
let me bust out my tarot cards, kid. Let me see what's going on with you this
You
week.
know what? I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to give you my advice. Let's just see what the cards say. Speaking of the cards, do you feel like there's like a specific card or like
The High Priestess?
the High Priestess.
I feel like if I were to embody a certain card, I feel like right now the High Priestess.
Now, could you explain for some of the people that are not familiar with tarot what the High Priestess card represents?
No, I'm
They can
kidding.
Google it. Oh my god.
No, so in tarot, there's different cards. There's what's called the Major Arcana, and there's Minor Arcana. So Major Arcana consists of different things, such as the Fool. There's the Emperor, the Empress, the World, Death. High Priestess, to me, is usually about intuition, like the mysticism for it, and for me, like, I feel I've always been very in tune with my intuition, even before I was a practicing Christian. So for me, whenever I talk to her or ask for advice, when she comes up in my readings, I'm like, yeah, no, she's there. But I kind of want to get more into the Emperor part, not like in an authoritative way, but I guess still trying to embody more of that masculine persona too. Because I feel like I'm definitely like very in tune with like my feminine energy, but I'm also still trying to be more comfortable with my masculine energy, if that makes sense. Especially with like today's day and age, and all that, and like I get it. Like men make me uncomfortable too.
So you're a guy?
I'm like, oh, is my beard not thick enough?
I don't know. You could just have a crazy case of PCOS. Before we wrap up, this is called The Wench's Wisdom. This is where we ask our guests to give a piece of advice to the audience. So the prompt I have for you today, for all of the other weird, strange, little freaky children out there in the world, what advice do you have to them when they grow up and they still want to be weird and strange and odd, just like us?
Be yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. Whether you like, a little bit of the darker stuff, or if you like more of the lighter stuff, don't try to conform. Like, the people who love you are going to accept you no matter what. So to all the goth kiddos or people who are exploring their identities, be unapologetically you.
That's well said. Well said. It's been amazing wisdom from the mouth of the master. Wyatt, thank you for joining us at the castle today.
No, it's a pleasure.
And to our listeners, stay educated, stay elevated, and we will see you on the next episode of Wench of the Week. Give it up for our Wench. Thank you so much, Wench. Bye.